For those of you who didn't see the first 5 minutes of the show, because we're going to delete that, because we had to reset all our machines. Let me just recap what you missed. Me saying hello to Yo-Yo and Vanessa. Yo-Yo and Vanessa, how are you?
I'm back. We back.
Yes, and for those who missed the first show, Vanessa just had chilled out this weekend and had lunch with her friends. Yo-Yo had a big Christmas party, made everybody take COVID tests ahead of time. Anyone was invited except for two really important people in your life, but that's okay. Maybe next time, next Christmas. There's always, Vanessa, next Christmas. There's also New Year's, if he's having a New Year's party.
There you go.
There's always New Year's too, right? All right, let's say hello to the squad because we are running late now. Hopefully we got Facebook all sorted out. Joan Grant, squad up. Latana Sani saying hi, squad. Squad up. Cordella Douglas, how are you? Hope you had a nice, beautiful birthday. Joan Ambitious Powell, squad up. Vitalis Asugwu, squad up. Brad and team. And who else we got here? Willie L. Williams saying, hey, squad up. On YouTube, a blank screen. Maybe somebody will talk to us very shortly. But in the meantime, Vanessa and Yo-Yo, why don't you tell everybody what they need to do while I get ready for some schmoozing?
Yes. All right, everybody on all social media sites. Now, first things first, I need you guys to all join the Brad Squad on Facebook. This is a VIP page. You're able to throw in your questions anytime throughout the day. If you have a busy day, throw in your questions early, and then we'll make sure we'll ask those before any of the social media questions. And also, we're going to put some content on there that we won't throw on YouTube or Instagram or other Facebook pages. So make sure you guys join that right now, and we'll make sure that we accept that request. Now on Facebook, first things first, I need you all to please share. This is the beginning of the week. It's going to be an amazing week. The only way that people are going to know that this show is on is because of you. All right. We need you guys to share it to all the pages, all the groups on Facebook that have to do with immigration, culture, anybody that you think might need help. Even if you think that they know somebody that might need help, I need you guys to share it to those pages. You could also share it in an inbox, make it a little personal. That's always good. Tell them about the show. Copy the link, send it in a text message blast. That's always an easy way to do it because you could throw it to all your friends and family. Just create groups on your phone for text messages. All you have to do, like I said, is copy the link and send it like that. Now, I also want you guys to throw in your questions right now. The beginning of the show, it's like a better chance for you guys to get your questions answered on top of course, joining the Brad Squad, the VIP page. But make sure you throw that in right now. And also interaction. Let us know how your weekend was. What did you guys do? What are you guys doing to prepare for the holidays? If you are going to celebrate the holidays or maybe even New Year's, are you guys looking forward to the new year? Just let us know what you guys are thinking. We love to talk back to you because Nesquik and I are always in the comments. Uncle Brad is always reading the comments, so you guys see that. And we'll also be searching for comments of the day, of course. Now, please, like, love, smiley face, sad face, wow face, whatever emotion you're feeling, make sure you show that love to the video. And last but not least, please, click that little bell notification so you know when we come on. All right, it's almost like subscribing on YouTube. You click that little bell notification right on top of the video. It should be a little bell that will notify you anytime we come on. All right, so now that's quick. What are we gonna do on YouTube?
Okay, squad, on YouTube, the most important thing that I need you guys to do here is make sure that you are formally part of the squad and subscribe to the channel. Right next to that, you'll see a bell. Turn on the notification bell so you know when Brad's show is live Monday through Friday. You do not want to miss us. Above that, you'll see what I love most. I want to see you guys give us that thumbs up. When you give us that thumbs up, it lets YouTube know that there's great things happening here, that you like what you're seeing. And it then lets other people know that this show is happening. There's still so many people that do not know about Brad's show live. So give us that thumbs up so YouTube can put us all over the platform and we can grab more eyes. What I will need from you guys as well is to share find that share arrow, you click it, it'll let you copy the link. You could send it in a text message, send it in a WhatsApp group, send it to cultural groups like Yo-Yo says, send it everywhere, everywhere. You never know when there's someone watching or needs or doesn't know to watch and needs answers to immigration questions, and you have the secret sauce. You have the key that they're looking for, Uncle Brad. So by you sharing the show, you never know if you're helping someone, you're saving someone. And that's what we want to do here, is help as many people as we can. So give us a thumbs up if you love what you see here, if you're a VIP or if you're not a VIP yet, but you know that we're doing great work. We share so much knowledge and so much value, and we just want to grow the squad more and more. So make sure you share. Now, if you can't catch a full 2-hour show, you can find us on Instagram, where we have the best snippets of our show. We're always looking to interact with you guys, whether we want to, play a Brad Show live game, or we're looking for maybe just a giveaway or a contest. Follow us on Instagram, because there's so many fun things happening there, and you'll catch the best highlights and the best snippets of our show. You can send us a direct message at Brad Show Live, and someone from the squad or Uncle Brad will get you the answer to your immigration questions. But I cannot tell you guys enough how important it is to share what we're doing here, because there's already so many of us here, but so many that don't know we exist, and you could be the person that connects them to this show. But let's get right into it. Schmoozing with Brad.
All right, well, good news from Friday. Yo-Yo and Vanessa, we need some good news around Christmas. A federal judge right here in New York has restored DACA and ordered the Department of Homeland Security to accept first-time applicants from immigrants. So what does that mean? There's when Donald Trump came into the White House, excuse me, when Donald Trump came into the White House, what he did was he stopped young men and women who would have otherwise been eligible for DACA from applying for DACA if they had not already done so. He also tried to wind down the entire DACA program. He also prevented DACA recipients from getting some benefits that they were getting under Barack Obama, such as advanced parole travel, to travel home for a short period of time and come back. The federal judge has ordered DACA to go back to what it was pre-Donald Trump. So if you had qualified for DACA, but you just never got around to applying for it, you can still do it now. What do you need? You need to either have a GED, have a high school diploma, or be in a GED program. That's number one. Number two, you had to be under the age of 16 and in the United States on June 15th, 2007. Number three, you had to be under the age of 31 on June 15th, 2012. If you qualify under those scenarios, you would most likely, unless you have some sort of criminal record that would prevent you from getting benefits, you would most likely, well, you definitely would be, get your DACA. What is DACA? DACA is Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. It's a promise from the U.S. government not to deport you. It's they give you a work permit. With the work permit, you can get a Social Security number. You can get a driver's license. You can now get advanced parole. Even if you were already denied advanced parole, you already have DACA, and you were denied, you should try it again now, because now you're going to be able to do so. And the reason why is because the head of the Department of Homeland Security, everything the federal judge says, everything he's doing is illegal. Why? Because he was never confirmed by the U.S. Senate. Donald Trump put him into the head of the Department of Homeland Security, but he just didn't care. He just said, you know what, you're never going to get confirmed by the Senate. And because he never got confirmed by the Senate, everything that comes out of the Department of Homeland Security in terms of regulation changes, they're all getting struck down. They're all getting struck down by judges. And when you think about it, the judge that struck it down was the federal judge that struck it down was appointed by Bill Clinton. So, these days, Donald Trump, one of the things that the Republicans are most proud about, what Donald Trump did, is he installed about 150 federal judges. And if you don't think that matters, that matters. The DAPA program, the Deferred Action for Parent Arrivals, that was the program that Obama did that allowed parents who had children here the same benefits as the DACA recipients. That was struck down in Texas by Republican judges. Here, DACA in New York was reaffirmed by Democratic judges. So if you don't think that who the president is and who they get to put in to judgeships is not important, it is. And, there could be, arguments one way or the other to say, because once you're a judge for life.
Yeah.
Maybe a judge should have term limits.
Yep.
And the reason for term limits would be is because, maybe you shouldn't be a judge for life. Number one.
Right.
Number two, because you are a judge for life, after you get past 50 years old, you can be a very, very well qualified judge. Maybe the best qualified judge, but no one's going to nominate you because the president wants to have lasting impact. So why would they nominate a judge who's closer to retirement or death? They all, you're all nominating young people.
Wow.
So if you notice, even the two people who were nominated to the Supreme Court by President Trump, Kavanaugh and, I'm going blank now.
The woman, no?
I just went blank on her name.
I forgot her name.
Amy Coney Barrett.
Amy. Yeah.
I don't know. One of those brain freezes there for a second. It was Uncle Brad. Facebook froze first, and then Uncle Brad freezes second. Both were under pretty young. If I know Amy Coney Barrett's under 50, and I think Brett Kavanaugh may well be too. And if he's not under 50, he's maybe 51 or 52. Both very young. But what's most important is, because I already spoke to 3 clients whose children never applied for DACA, and now they'll be able to. So,
nice.
So that's really nice.
That's good.
Yeah. So
at least happy news.
That's happy news.
Yeah.
That's happy news. Now, BuzzFeed reported several weeks ago that ICE is going to start enforcing their new regulations under Donald Trump. The regulation that they want to enforce mostly is that if you entered the country without inspection, you are still considered at the border and have not been admitted unless you evade immigration for 2 years. So it actually, it's a dumb law. It actually rewards you for evading immigration. So if you, not people who came on visitors visas, this is about people who entered without inspection. So if you entered without inspection, you can't prove how you came to the United States of America under new regulations by Donald Trump, then for the first 2 years, unless you can prove you've been in the U.S. for more than 2 years, you get summary removal. Summary removal is you don't get to see an immigration judge. You don't get to fight to be able to stay here. Literally, immigration can pick you off the street and send you home.
Sheesh.
Okay? So if you're an immigrant, you got to make sure in order to get constitutional rights. Now, basically what Trump says is if you enter the country without inspection, unless you evade the law authorities for at least 2 years, you have no constitutional rights. Because Department of Homeland Security and ICE could literally pick you off the street and send you home.
Wow.
Now, without scaring you, those are people who entered without inspection. If you came on a visitor's visa and overstayed, that's a different story. You have constitutional rights. You were inspected at the airport. You have a right to see a judge. So that's the new law that's going into effect. So when people say, I heard immigration is picking people off the streets, in a way, they may be. Now, this is supposed to start, they're supposed to start enforcing these new rules on December 22nd. BuzzFeed reported on it. Immigration was not going to be promoting that they were going to do it. They were just going to start doing it. Now, because BuzzFeed was able to find the emails going back and forth between the head of Department of Homeland Security, basically starting to enforce these rules, they published proof of all of this. Now, ICE, they weren't too happy. So they subpoenaed BuzzFeed for all of the documents and emails that they got that they used to publish what is in fact this truth, that the Department of Homeland Security is going to start, taking people off the street unless you can prove you've been here for more than 2 years or prove you came here on a visa and overstayed. Then you get to see a judge.
And BuzzFeed has a big audience and a variety of ages, a young audience. I mean, I check into BuzzFeed. That's like one of my sources, one of the platforms, mainly for entertainment, not so much like world news. But yeah.
Right.
So there's two issues that play into this. One is freedom of the press. Okay. Since when could ICE start subpoenaing press about their sources and where they got their sources and where they got their information? So BuzzFeed rightfully.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me! That's 3 gallons of bullshit in a 2-gallon bucket.
Rightfully said that back to ICE. Said that's bullshit. But in nicer words, they wrote, BuzzFeed News emphatically rejects any request for information about possible sources and methods of our reporting. They can't get that, ICE. What makes them think that? And then number two, I don't know what's going to happen. But if Chad Wolf, who's the head of the Department of Homeland Security, if he nothing that he does has any authority because he was never put in by the Senate and confirmed by the Senate, I would assume that when immigration starts picking people up, lawyers are going to start filing what's called habeas corpus petitions. Habeas corpus petitions are that you are illegally holding somebody or illegally, an APA, it would be under habeas corpus and APA, you're illegally holding somebody and you are following rules and procedures against authorized rules and procedures, because the rules and procedures are, if you're here out of status, you get to see an immigration judge. You don't just get thrown across the border. So I assume that, lawyers will be in federal court for that as well. And they're going to make the same argument. This guy, Chad Wolf, had no right to change the rules. He was never confirmed by the U.S. Senate. Luckily for immigrants, and, Donald Trump only has till January 20th. So he has about 45 days or even less right now. So because he has 45 or less days, you don't have to be good about evading immigration for the next 2 years, just for the next 45 days. Right.
I know they are happy though. I would be so happy.
Can you imagine being rewarded for being able to evade the law? That's how stupid of a rule is that? You know what? We're going to reward you by giving you your constitutional rights if you're really good at evading the law. But if you're not good at evading the law, then you get deported. I guess that's Donald Trump's way of saying we only want the best and brightest here. The best and brightest people would know how to evade the law for 2 years, because according to Donald Trump's been evading the law his entire life.
His entire life.
Right.
Absolutely.
So.
Oh man.
But isn't that ridiculous?
That is.
Yeah.
So like by January 20th though, so when the new president comes, does all this go away?
No, because it's impossible to change every rule and every regulation on day one. He would have to he would be signing papers. He would have blisters on his fingers.
Right.
It's going to take a very long time to unwind and undo what Trump did.
So this is literally his way of, and I feel like that's why he did it so late then, maybe. Is this his way of kind of like still having a little stamp, a little sprinkle of Trumpism in the White House? Yeah. Even after he leaves.
Yeah, well, he has been making regulation changes in such large numbers now, more than ever, executive orders just in these last couple months.
I feel like I've heard more changes within this past couple months than I have this whole president. Yeah, it's crazy.
Meanwhile, your friend and my friend, Vanessa, Rudy Giuliani, your very close friend, and Donald Trump's personal attorney, he is hospitalized after testing positive for COVID. The 76-year-old was admitted to Georgetown University Hospital on Sunday. Now, he appeared to confirm his positive diagnosis hours after it was announced on Twitter by Trump by tweeting that he's getting great care and feeling great. Feeling good, not great. There have been no additional details provided about his condition. We don't know if he's doing well, if he's not doing well. And the thing with COVID, that's him when he found out he had COVID. The thing with COVID, no, I'm only making a joke, I don't know. But the thing with COVID, Mr. Giuliani, you have COVID, and then that's the picture.
And that face.
Yeah, and that face. But the thing with COVID is that you can be feeling great 1 minute and then really go down the tubes the next. That's why it's so important.
That's the scary part.
That's a really scary part. It's really why it's so important that if you feel anything other than, some aches and pains from COVID, you should definitely be going to the hospital because, there's so many instances and people that I've heard who neglected to go and got really sick or knew people who died because they went too late. Because you say you feel good. Oh, it's like the flu. And then all of a sudden you go straight downhill really, really fast. So, everybody's got to be,
like you said, really fast.
Yeah, and everybody's got to be careful. And to be honest with you, I don't wish the man harm. I don't want anybody to die. But certainly he has not been a very good ambassador for wearing a mask.
No,
he appeared maskless while traveling the country in recent weeks to advance Trump's baseless claims of election fraud, and he may have spread the virus among other public officials. Now, Giuliani's diagnosis also further undercuts Trump's frequently repeated and misleading claim that the United States is rounding the corner. It ain't rounding the corner. It's not rounding the corner at all.
Right.
Right. And by the way, just about everybody in that White House now has come down with COVID. Just about everybody.
Yeah. No surprise there.
And I was just reading, that people say, I don't believe, what the scientists are saying. They're always changing their mind. And 1 minute here, and then 1 minute they say masks work, and then they say masks only work for the person who's sick from giving it to you. Now they say if you wear a mask, you can be prevented from getting it as well. It works both ways. And you know what I say to everybody about that? Science is ever evolving. They learn more and more every week and every month.
This is true.
All right. So when people say, I don't believe the scientists, remember when they had us spraying the Amazon boxes when they were coming in? Now we can't get it from the Amazon. They learn. And as you learn, you change what you're telling the public.
Right.
And
people act like scientists should just know it off the top of their head, like without research and stuff.
Like magic.
And what they've learned more than anything else is if you're wearing a mask and you're sick, obviously you won't give it to others. But also if you're wearing a mask, it is extraordinarily less likely that you'll get it from somebody who is sick.
Right.
So it works both ways. It works both ways.
Than sorry.
Yeah. Meanwhile, talking about COVID, 14.8 million people have been diagnosed with COVID in America. The U.S. is nearing an average of 200,000 new COVID cases every day. In New York City, schools have remained open. However, the city is set a purposefully low threshold for shutting the school buildings again. As of midnight this morning, millions of Californians are under new lockdown orders, and the Navajo Nation has implemented another 3-week lockdown. Some European countries are discussing a different safety measure, immunity passports, which allow for travel if one has successfully recovered from COVID. Hungary has implemented them for months, and other countries like Iceland could soon follow suit. Meanwhile, in the United States, coronavirus stimulus talks continue through the weekend, but Congress is still hung up on a few things. I hope they do it. I hope they do that stimulus. People need it.
Yeah.
The UK has started vaccinating people with the coronavirus vaccine that was made by Pfizer. It is expected in the United States that the Pfizer vaccine is going to be approved for use Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, somewhere in less than 7 days. I don't know if it's going to be Friday or Saturday. And then what's going to happen is the first doses are going to go to the elderly and infirmed in nursing homes. those are the people most likely to die. God forbid you get COVID. If you're trying to set, you're trying, there's no right answer. Who should get it first? But if the right answer is you want to save as many lives as possible, and that's the most important thing, then you give it to the elderly in the nursing homes.
Right.
A lot of them don't have a lot of life left, but why should even a week or 2 weeks, or why should they lose even months of life?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I agree. I mean, especially because they would be, the ones that are affected the most. I feel like with, like underlying health concerns, that mostly it's the older people that have that. Of course, there's still some that are young that have it, but at least our immune system is strong enough. Like I have high blood pressure and I got COVID and I didn't even feel like I had it. I had a worse cold. I had colds worse than it. So I agree. Yeah. But I do want to see how it's going to affect them. I'm still going to keep my eyes out.
But you want to know what today is, guys?
Fuzzy Monday.
It is Fuzzy Monday. Let's talk fuzzies. Do you know when I was like birth to 5, nobody called me Brad. You know what my name was?
What?
Buzzy.
I do remember you saying
Buzzy
that.
Yes. Brad.
I was not Buzzy Brad. I was Buzzy Bernstein until I was about
Buzzy
5
Brad.
or 6, and then some people would call me Fuzzy, not even Buzzy.
Oh well, on Mondays. You want to bring it back?
I want to bring it back.
Buzzy.
It's Uncle Buzz.
Fuzzy Monday.
Uncle Buzz with Fuzzy Monday.
You would have to be called Uncle Buzz.
Uncle Buzz for Mondays. Meanwhile,
I like that.
A Tiger King bill has passed the House of Representatives. Did you see this? A bill passed by the U.S. House of Representatives would outlaw private ownership of big cats. The law was dubbed the Tiger King bill after the viral Netflix show of the same name was passed by the U.S. House of Representatives 272 to 114. The show's star, Joseph Maldonado Passage, a.k.a. Joe Exotic, is currently serving 22 years in prison. Do you think Trump is going to pardon him?
22?
22 years in prison. You think Trump will pardon him?
Wow.
He believes he will get pardoned.
He believes he will?
Yes.
Wow.
The Big Cat Public Safety Act, the bill's official title, would effectively ban the breeding and ownership of a big cat without a license from the United States Department of Agriculture. The bill drew criticism from Republicans saying that it would hurt small family-run businesses. Carol Baskin, a longtime rival of Joe Exotic, who runs a big cat sanctuary in Florida, touted her involvement with the bill in a post on her website, writing that her current husband was on weekly calls with members of the coalition. She wrote, "We are rallying the tens of millions of supporters of our collective organizations to contact their members of Congress." Now, Carol Baskin, who was a longtime rival of Joe Exotic, who runs a big cat sanctuary in Florida, told her involvement with the bill on a post on her website, writing that her current husband. Oh, this is a repeat. Okay, so with that, I have to say one thing. I watched. You watch Tiger King?
I did watch it.
You watched Tiger King.
I think this Carol Baskin has some underlying reasons for doing this. She wants to put everybody else out of business and just be the only tiger sanctuary in the United States. So it is to her benefit that this bill passes.
Selfish in that.
It could also be the benefit of the tigers.
I think it's more
questionable.
For the benefit
Questionable, Brad.
Right. More for the benefit of her pocket.
Maybe. Do you agree with it? Do you agree with this bill?
Do I?
Because I would agree with the bill that nobody should own a tiger. But this is not that nobody should own a tiger. It's no one should own a tiger unless it's approved by the United States Department of Agriculture.
Well, I agree with nobody should own a tiger.
I agree with that one. Now,
They don't deserve to be in those little cages. Do you see that big old lion in that small cage
It's sad.
behind Carol Baskin? Look at that
very
picture.
Sad.
A lion is a king of a jungle.
It's very sad.
What's the
the size
kingdom
of
of like? Nah, I don't. So I don't think they should own any of them.
I agree. And by the way, speaking of cat rescues, Atlanta rapper Sterling Davis was on a break from a tour when he applied for a job at the country shelter scooping kitty litter. Davis said he just wanted to stay busy and make a little money. Plus, he's always loved animals, like his cat at the time, Rick James. He told Today, "I did horrible in the interview because they had cats in the room, and I was playing with all the cats, kissing all the cats." Davis started helping shelter employees with trap-neuter return cases. Now, while Davis learned about trap-neuter return cases, he came to another realization. He said, "At the county shelter, there were no men and no black people that worked in the cat department." Davis realized he had a new calling. He let his band know he would not be coming back on tour. Instead, he was going to devote all his time to cat rescue. You ever hear this rapper, Sterling Davis?
No.
Yeah.
You have?
Sterling Davis?
Yeah. Well,
No, I haven't, and
The
this
name
is
sounds
probably
familiar.
he gave up his career.
That's what I'm about to say. That's probably why he gave it up, because nobody knows of him.
I don't know.
Okay.
I
you
can't
don't
say
see-
I know him,
I'm
but
searching
I'm
it.
not a rapper aficionado, so you know.
Well, I've definitely not heard of him, and you won't see Kanye West give up his career to take care of cats. So
Meanwhile,
maybe if he had a little bit more fame, then it would be a different story.
Meanwhile, Dr. Amir Khalil, he's an Egyptian-born veterinarian who works with the Vienna-based animal welfare group Four Paws International. He's been rescuing animals from condemned zoos and conflict zones for more than 2 decades. Now he can add moving an elephant by plane between countries during a deadly global pandemic to his resume. Khalil led the team this week that transferred a 37-year-old male Asian elephant named Kavan from confinement in a zoo in Islamabad, Pakistan, to a conservation park in Cambodia. It was a very difficult mission, logistically and politically. The health and safety of the team were the main priority. Caravan arrived in Pakistan as a 1-year-old calf, a state gift during military rule in the 1980s, after the dictator's young daughter expressed a fondness for baby elephants. He ended up in the zoo where he spent the next 3 decades, chained and mistreated. Kavan's mate, a female elephant named Shelly, died. Her body was left lying with Kavan for days before it was taken away. He has been alone ever since, earning him the nickname of the world's loneliest elephant. Khalil says that when he first met Kavan in 2016 during a visit to assess the condition of the zoo and its animals, the elephant was aggressive, depressed, and obese. Not after his visit, American pop legend Cher learned of Kavan's situation, and along with her charity Free the Wild and other animal rights groups, she launched a campaign to close the Islamabad Zoo. A Pakistani court finally ordered the zoo's closure in May and put Khalil in charge of figuring out where and how to relocate Kavan. He recommended relocating Kavan to Cambodia's Kuala Lumpur Wildlife Sanctuary, a facility with over 30,000 acres. The park has 3 female elephant residents, and they will be important for Kavan's rehabilitation and socialization. The entire process to transfer Kavan cost $400,000. Social media was abuzz with photos and videos showing Kavan taking his very first steps out of the transport crate and into his new home on Monday night, a moment Khalil called great because I had a very special bond with this elephant. Khalil said he was able to calm Kavan during the transport by singing. Khalil said Kavan loves the Frank Sinatra song, My Way, so he sang it to him, saying, I have an ugly voice, very bad, but I only have one fan, Kavan the elephant, and that's all I needed.
Oh, that's sweet.
I did it my way. That's all I know of the song. You know any other part?
Okay, I thought you was going to keep going.
That's all I know. Do you know any other way? Any other part?
No.
No, that's definitely the only part.
Is that the only part you know?
I don't even know that song.
You don't know Frank Sinatra? You know
What?
that
I know
song.
Frank Sinatra.
I did it my
song.
way, but that's all I know.
Yeah.
Maybe the way you're singing it, I got to hear it.
Yeah, because I can't sing.
Right. That's what was coming next, Yo-Yo. He was going to hit the high note.
Yeah.
Just give him a second.
All right. Meanwhile, if you're tired of looking at your dog's backside, this is the news for you. You might need Rear gear.
Here it goes.
A Portland, Oregon company is selling tags that you hang on your dog or cat's tail to cover up their rear. They're called, what else? Rear gear, and their sales slogan is "No more Mr. Brown Eye." The company says with these tags, you can pretend your dog is not a living, pooping animal. Oh, come on. That's dumb. That's dumb.
That's so dumb.
That's so dumb.
So how about when they caca? What are you supposed to do?
It's going to be dirty. That thing's going to smell. That's just dumb.
This was not good.
So
it's $6, but for $20 you can customize it with your dog's name on it. That's dumb.
That's good. What is that? Look at that.
That's not cool. No one's putting flowers on our tushes.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
Crazy.
in New York, they found an owl in the Christmas tree. Remember?
Yes.
But in Australia, animal rescuers were summoned to the home of a woman who found a koala in her Christmas tree. The Adelaide Hills Koala Rescue, said the hotline operator initially thought they were being pranked when Amanda McCormick called to report finding a koala bear climbing the Christmas tree.
That small tree?
Yeah, inside of her home. The rescue posted on Facebook, but no, a koala desperate
the
to
koala
get...
is bigger than the tree.
Yeah, the koala was desperate to get in the Christmas spirit. They had wandered into Amanda's house, decided it wanted to be the fairy on the Christmas tree. The female koala was eventually returned to the outdoors, and the Christmas tree was completed with a fake.
And everyone lives happily
And everybody ever lives happily ever after. All right. We have too many more Fuzzy Mondays. 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2, or 3.
That's quick.
1, 2, or 3. 1 is the first one, 2 is the middle one, 3 is the back one.
3 is my favorite number.
3 is your favorite number. All right. Researchers from Hungary are holding the Genius Dog Challenge. What a genius one to pick, Nesquik, which pits 6 of the world's smartest dogs against one another to show who is the smartest dog in the world. The event finishes on Wednesday, December 16th, and is going to be live streamed on YouTube and Facebook. Dr. Claudia Fageza, a canine behavior researcher in Budapest, told CNN the Genius Dog Challenge is part of a bigger research project on language, learning, and processing in dogs. She said, "We have been searching for the past 2 years and a half for dogs that showed the ability to learn object names. We found that this seems to be a rare skill. While most dogs struggle to learn even only a few names, some rare dogs seem to be very talented at this and can learn multiple object names very easily." The first stage of the contest gives the contestants 1 week to learn the name of 6 toys, and the second stage will double the number to see if they can learn the name of 12 toys.
Damn.
One dog, a 2-year-old Gaia from Brazil. What is a Gaia? Is that a Gaia? Gaia? I don't know what a Gaia looks like. Knows the name of more than 80 toys. That's a smart dog.
Right.
That's impressive.
I don't even know the name of 80 toys. I don't know if I can name 80 toys. If you put 80 toys in front of me and you're like, pick the
ball.
I don't know. What's the rattle ball? I don't know. I mean, this could be a rattle ball. That could be the rattle ball. I don't know.
Right.
And then Max, who is a 2-year-old, lives in Budapest, already knows the names of over 100 toys.
Wow.
So what we've learned is that there is such a thing as a smart dog. Sometimes you have dogs, you're like, my dog's the smartest dog in the world. And other times you're like, I got the dumbest dog in the world, right?
I've definitely seen the dumbest dog.
You've seen the dumbest dog in the world?
Yeah.
But some dogs are very smart.
Yeah. Well, that's wild, though, that
Seems like these guys.
That's wild. They would only have a week to learn 6 toys, and then they're going to have to learn 12 toys after that competition. That's like, I thought that they had already known the names and they just come in and do it. Like, they only have a week
They got a week to learn.
That's wild.
Yeah. I wonder how they teach them. I guess they give them a treat after, go to the Magic 8 Ball. Go to the Magic 8 Ball.
Right.
Right?
There's
okay, now you have
always
a
a treat involved.
Right. It has to be. All right, let's get into our Braducation. In today's Braducation, I answer the question, what is a provisional waiver? A provisional waiver is a waiver to waive the 10-year bar to leave the United States to obtain an immigrant visa in another country. In 1996, Congress changed the law that said that if you are applying for a green card in another country and you lived in the United States illegally for more than 1 year, you have a 10-year bar to re-enter. prevented most people who overstayed on their visas, who were entered without inspection, from returning home to pick up their green cards because nobody wanted to stay home for 10 years before they were able to come back with their green card. The provisional waiver gives a waiver to that law prior to you leaving the United States. So as long as you get that provisional waiver, you can go back to your home country and if otherwise eligible, obtain your green card and then return to the United States within a matter of weeks. All right, let's do, you got a question. I'm going to give you my best answer in getting answers to your immigration questions. Let's go to Catherine in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Catherine.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I have a question for you. My son was deported in 2003 they said drugs, which he said he didn't have any drugs. He's the wrong person, whatever. But anyway, I reapplied for him in 2017. He got approved. I got an approval letter last December.
What were the drugs?
I don't even know what kind of drugs it was. According to what he told me is that he was walking across the street and the cops pulled him down and said that
Catherine.
Yes, sir.
Catherine, I believe you. I'm sure your son didn't have drugs. Let's take it as it is. But this is the facts. The facts are that unfortunately he pled guilty to possession of drugs. Okay?
Yes.
And that's all that I'm just telling you practical. Okay?
Yes.
So practical, he pled guilty. Whether he was guilty or not, that's a whole other story. That's a whole other discussion for another day, but we're here to solve immigration issues.
Okay.
So if he pled guilty, he's guilty. End of story. At least immigration thinks that. All right?
Right.
Now, if you have any drug offense, unless it's simple possession of marijuana, you can never come back to America, even if you file for him. So all of what you're going through is meaningless.
Okay.
Except if it was possession of marijuana, if it was a marijuana case. Because with a marijuana case, you can, you still can't come back, but you can have some hope that eventually the marijuana laws are going to change in the United States of America. And then you will be able to come back. They're already, already passed the House of Representatives. It's not going to pass the Senate, but maybe in another year or 2 years or 3 years, you never know.
Right.
Now, the other thing is if it was simple possession of cocaine, depending on the jurisdiction, it's also possible to argue it's not a drug offense.
Right.
But those are, arcane legal arguments. But the basic rule is you have a drug offense, you're not coming back. So, unfortunately, that's the case. How old was your son when he got his green card?
He was 11 years old.
Did you become a U.S. citizen before he was 18?
No.
Did his father become a U.S. citizen before 18?
No.
Unfortunately, then, we just got to wait for law changes, but he's not going to be able to come back right now.
Even though it approved for him to come back, it still wouldn't work?
Well, he's approved for a visa petition, but then when he goes for his interview, he's going to be denied for inadmissibility. They do it backwards.
Okay.
It's a backwards system. They should be checking his admissibility right up front also, which they don't. So it's they don't. So they check his admissibility at the end. So after you get approved and you go through this entire process, and it's just one big waste of time for you. I'm telling you the truth. And I'm sorry to tell you this, but that's the truth.
Well, that's okay. I'm glad you tell me the truth.
All right. Hang in there.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Let's go to Elizabeth in Boston. Elizabeth.
Hello?
Hi, Elizabeth. How are you?
Hi. Your voice is too far. I can't hear.
My voice is too far.
You hear me?
I hear you.
Okay. Brad, can I have approval I-130 last year in November.
Right.
So can I do adjustment status now because I have a pending master hearing.
Who's sponsoring you?
My husband.
Is he a citizen?
He's U.S. citizen. Yeah. Already I approved my I-1.
How did you come to the United States of America?
visitor visa.
Yeah, file the adjustment. It's going to eventually have to be approved by the judge, but file it so at least you get a work permit.
Can I do my adjustment status now?
Yeah, you can file it now. It will get transferred to an immigration judge eventually, but file it so at least you get the process going.
Okay, because
But you still have to do it. Eventually, you're going to adjust your status through an immigration judge.
Oh, okay. Because 2020, the judge told me my hearing, my master hearing.
Okay, file your adjustment. If you want, you can make a motion to recalendar to get a quicker hearing. You're eventually going to have to do it through the immigration judge. You need a lawyer when you're in removal. Why is your lawyer not telling you this information?
She's in the vacation. She's not here. That's why I need to.
Maybe you need to hire a lawyer who doesn't take vacation. All right, but hold on.
But
yeah.
But can I send it now? I get my adjustment, or I have to wait until the 2022?
I just finished telling you the answer.
Okay.
So listen again.
Okay.
File it now. It eventually has to be approved by the immigration judge, but at least you'll get your work permit going. And then you should make a motion to recalendar your case because you have the I-130 approved and you've already filed a pending adjustment.
Okay.
All right. And when your lawyer comes back from vacation, they should be telling you that. Hold on. Let's go to Emma in Noblesville, Indiana. Emma.
Hello, hi, Tim.
Tim? I'm not Tim. You looking for Tim?
No, everybody, the team on the...
Oh, hi, team.
No.
Hi, team. No, I'm Brad. You're not with the team. I thought you said hi, Tim. I'm like, you're calling the wrong show. There's no Tim here.
No.
Oh, team. Hi, team.
I think I got a little break here and there.
Okay, Emma, you're live. You're talking to Brad. How can I help you?
Wonderful. Hi, Brad. Nice to meet you. So I have a question in regard to the I-212. My husband was recently sent back upon arrival.
Why did he get sent back upon arrival? He had a summary inadmissibility. You're telling me at the airport?
No, he's not. They suspected that he was coming in with an intent to stay.
Okay.
At that time, we were not married yet. So
why did they think that?
For me, I don't know.
Did he get a summary inadmissibility, or he just got requested to withdraw his request for admission? Do you know what happened?
They just denied entry, did not offer any deportation, and they offered him a bar. However, when we found that...
1 second. What do you mean they offered him a bar?
A 5-year bar on entry.
All right. So he did have a summary inadmissibility.
Yes.
Okay. So now, how long ago did that happen?
A year ago.
Right. And you're a U.S. citizen.
Yes, I am.
Right. All right. So you have to file for him, and you have to do waivers. And he's going to need other waivers because obviously there's some sort of misrepresentation issue. But before you do anything, you need to get a FOIA to find out what happened at the airport.
Okay. Okay. We'll probably be calling you guys for that. Last question is, when we sent in the 212 to remove that bar...
You're not doing that right now, so you're doing it wrong. Okay?
We are?
Yeah, you're filing an I-130 first. Hold on 1 second, okay?
Okay.
All right. Let's go to Esther in New Orleans. Esther. Esther.
Hey.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. It's a little bit down. Can you speak out a little bit?
Why is everybody not hearing?
Hello?
That's odd. Oh, maybe that's why. How's that? Better now? Better?
Hello?
Better? Hello?
Yeah, I can just hear you a little bit.
Better?
I can hear you a little bit.
You can hear me a little bit. That's odd. What about now? You hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So what can I do to help you?
Yeah, my question is, you talk about DACA just a few when the show just started.
Right.
So I have a question for a friend. They just came into United States around 2000, I think 2018 or 17. But I'm not really sure. So our daughter is 16 years. So can she apply for DACA?
No, because she was not here in June 15th, 2007.
Oh, really? So you have to be here June 2005 before you can.
2007, June 15th.
2007.
Yes.
Okay, so she can apply. All right.
But
Yeah,
how old is she?
she's 16.
And is she with mom and dad?
She's with her mom. The dad is not here.
Where's the dad?
The dad is not in Africa. He's not here with them.
All right. The thing she can do is if she can prove that the dad abandoned her or abused
Okay.
her or neglected her, she can go.
Oh, excuse me. I think the dad is late.
The dad is what?
He's late. He died.
He's died.
Yeah.
Okay. So if that's the case, she can do what's called a special immigrant juvenile petition and get legal guardianship by somebody with a special order from a family court judge that it's not in her best interest to go back to Africa because she's got nobody to take care of her back in Africa. And then she could apply for her green card that way. And that's better than DACA. So hold on one second. All right, we can help. Let's go to ELWIN in Orlando, Florida. ELWIN.
Hello, can you hear me?
I do.
Yeah, my concern, like, hi, Brad, can you hear me?
I still hear you. Yes. What is your question?
Yeah, my concern is that my spouse is willing to give a divorce to the foreign spouse.
Your spouse is willing to
while the
spouse. What are you talking about?
while the I-130 petition is waiting for the interview.
Wait. Your spouse could only divorce you because she's married to you. So what are you talking about a foreign spouse?
Yeah, like basically, like I'm a foreign spouse, like she's willing to give a divorce.
Your wife wants to divorce you.
Yeah, while the I-130 interview is pending.
Okay.
So my concern is that does it affect the future visa?
Yes, because where are you right now?
Right now I'm in like India.
Oh, you're in India. The answer is yes because you've shown an intent to get a green card. So it's going to be extraordinary. I don't know why we say you're in Florida. So it's going to be extraordinarily harder for you to prove that you are coming to visit and not intending to go back home because you've already shown an intent to get a green card. So yes, it will be harder to get a visa.
Okay, so in the future, if I will file for the visitor visa, or
it will be harder.
Will be
harder.
Will be harder.
Yes.
Okay, and if she don't do the divorce and we are happily like live together, then everything will be good.
Yes, of course. Sure, you finished the
okay,
visa
do I have to get
process for the green card? Basically,
Hello?
you want to come to America, stay married, send her flowers.
Yeah, everything was going good, but due to the pandemic, like she got depressed, and now she's willing to.
So send her flowers. Do the right thing and make her happy. All right. So everything was good up to the pandemic. Everybody has problems in the pandemic. So you gotta double down on your love. All right, and she'll finish up. All right.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. That's my marriage tip of the day. Double down on the love. Let's go to Lisa in Newark. Lisa.
Hello?
Hi, Lisa.
Yes, so I came here because my mom married to a U.S. citizen, but then they got divorced. So now we're on our own of removal condition, and my mom wants to know if I can apply for become a U.S. citizen, even though we haven't got our 10-year green card yet.
No, because you have to have your condition, because you got divorced now, you got to base your citizenship on 5 years, not 3 years. And I assume you have not had a green card for 5 years yet.
I already lived here for 5 years.
With a green card?
Yes.
You've had permanent residence for more than 5 years, and your case is still pending? That means the removal of your conditions has been pending for 3 years.
So at first, we got a 2 years green card, right? And then it expired, and we received
when did your green card expire? The 2-year green card expire?
Around 2018 February.
Okay, so so you're coming on 5 years now. Yeah, the answer is yes. You can file for your citizenship.
Oh, even if we haven't received the 10 years yet?
You're going at your citizenship interview, they're going to interview you for both the removal of the conditions and your citizenship.
Oh, great.
All right?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Abiola, Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
I have a 2 question.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, I hear you.
Yeah, I have a 2 question from my friend. There's one of my friend that went to the interview last month, and then getting to the interview, the wife was denied. They've not even sent a letter yet. But what they tell them was like, I think they do a stock interview for them, and then when they call the wife signed a paper for him. And when the wife signed the paper, so later when they come outside, they tell the guy that, oh, your wife signed the paper that she's no more doing or stuff like that.
Yeah,
and we don't even know what to expect.
What happens is they threaten the U.S. citizen. They say, if you don't sign this right now that says that this is not a good marriage, we're going to throw you in jail.
Yes, I think that's what happened.
I know, and they freak out and they sign, I'll sign anything, just don't send me to jail. When a lot of times, that's not the case. It's a real marriage, but they scare somebody.
Yes.
So they need a good lawyer. That's the bottom line.
Oh, okay.
All right, hold on. Let's go to Philip in Riverside, California.
Hi, how you doing, Bert?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I called you last week. I had a couple questions, but I forgot to ask you that I got the conditional green card, and my wife, she's currently on disability, and she's going to be for another 3 months, and she was thinking that she would get food stamps for her kids, but she needs to include me on the form as well for the income of the house. Is that going to be an issue?
No.
No, not even for citizenship or anything?
No.
Okay, sounds good. And another thing, last thing is, so if a daughter U.S. citizens wants to apply for her mom, which came here from Mexico without inspections, is there some waiver for that?
You have to do a provisional waiver, go home and come back.
Okay, sounds good.
So you
So
file for mom, not the other way around. There is there is no provisional waiver for daughter filing for mom. So that doesn't work unless the daughter or somebody's in the military or former military. Is anyone in the family military?
No. But the mom had the daughter here, but she's been here for like 15 years. So
did the mom ever do anything else to get a green card? Because maybe the mom had something filed under.
No. She just came here without inspection. She stayed for like 20 years.
But nothing was ever. But she never filed anything.
No, she never filed anything.
Then there's nothing to do at the moment, but wait for Joe Biden and see what law changes he makes.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, bye-bye.
Let's go to Miss Wildley in Syracuse, New York. Hello? Miss Widley in Syracuse, New York. I didn't say it properly. Widley. Mrs. Widley. Mrs. Widley. Mrs. Widley. I know the answer. Mrs. Widley. You have a question? What happened to Mrs. Widley? I think I had a biology teacher by the name of Mrs. Widley. Wonder if it's the same Mrs. Widley. Katie in Dover, Delaware. Katie.
Hi, Bride.
Yes.
Yes. I would like that you give me the best advice. I sent the green card application on September 30th for my son. And they received it on October 2nd. But October 2nd, there is a notice of fee increasing that become effective exactly on October 2nd. But the postmark of my application was September 30th. Now they sent me a receipt notice that said that they accept the fee, everything else. And 1 month later, they send me a rejection of the application I-765 that says, let me see, not the fee was not being provided. The payment for 765 was not being
you don't
provided.
Need to. If you filed an adjustment, you filed an adjustment application for him?
Yes. Altogether,
maybe you filled out the wrong.
131.
Did you fill out the wrong section of law on the I-765? You should have said C9.
No, not denied. It's like rejected and said to resubmit the application with the fee.
No. On the I-765, it says, what section of law are you filing under? You would write section C9. That means you're filing concurrently with an adjustment. You don't have to pay a fee. Did you fill out maybe you filled out the form wrong? Is that possible? I don't know. But we can fix it. I don't know what you did wrong, but I'm just taking guesses on what happened. But let's try to fix it. Hold on 1 second. Or maybe immigration made an error. I don't know.
Yeah, so now I can write like back and tell them for the wrongdoing
write them back and say, did they send the form back or no?
Yes, they send the form back and they ask me to attach it.
Make sure the form says section C9.
No, it says section C36.
No, it's not C. That's why you got denied. It's C9. You filed an adjustment application.
No, but what happened is from a work sponsorship green card is for my relative, like my son.
C9.
C9.
C as in cat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's why it got rejected. You filled it out wrong.
So now what do you take? Submit a new application.
A new application. Say section C9, and they'll process the adjustment.
But there is something in the $1,225 they had on him. They're gonna send it back.
You don't need to pay it. It just sounds like you're doing everything procedurally incorrect. Hold on 1 second if you need help.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to Sid in Philadelphia. Sid.
Hello.
Hi, Sid.
Hey, Brad. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Brad, I do have a question. I'm U.S. citizen, and my parents are on visitor visa with me, and it's been 3 months, and I'm trying to file for their green card and adjustment of status. I have a question related to some documentation. So the name of my father on his birth certificate and my birth certificate is Vijay Pai, while his name on his passport and marriage certificate is only Vijay. So would it create any issue down the road?
It says Vijay on the marriage and the passport, and on the birth certificate of him and you, it says Vijay what?
Pai.
I with another letter?
Another 4-letter Pai, B-H-A-I, Pai.
Oh, Pai. Well, I don't think it's going to be a problem. I think Vijay and Vijay Pai seems like similar.
Okay.
What I would do is just have him write a letter explaining why that is, and the worst case scenario, the worst case scenario is they don't think he's your father, and you say, I'll be willing to take a blood test and prove the DNA matches.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, Brad. And Brad, one more question. His birth certificate is in dual language, native language as well as in English.
So then
So do I need to translate it into the English?
If it's in English and you have a certified birth certificate in English, it's fine.
Oh, perfect. And once they accept the petition, if 6 months get passed, they will not be in out of status, right?
Yeah. As soon as they file the adjustment, they're in legal status.
Okay, and they don't need to leave the country after 6 months,
They
right?
shouldn't leave at all until they get their green card.
Oh, okay. And is it good to file online I-130 or paper form I-130?
File all the forms together, I-45. Don't do anything online. File an I-45, an I-130, an I-765, an I-131, an I-864, an I-944 all together in one package.
Thank you so much, Brad. I really appreciate you, and this is my third or fourth call maybe, and every time you help me a lot.
My pleasure.
I really appreciate your
My pleasure. Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much.
Spread the word.
Yep, sure, Brad.
All right, let's go to Dean in Summit, West New Jersey. Dean.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good.
Yes, I have a concern. My wife is U.S. citizen, right?
Uh-huh.
And she filed for me the I-130 and the 485.
Right.
And right now, I just received. She just received a notice of action, the I-797, saying the petition was transferred to NVC.
Okay.
So I don't know. How U.S. citizen can transfer my case and to NVC?
Because you didn't file an adjustment application.
Yes, before.
You got to file the adjustment application now. So file an adjustment with the approved I-130. It'll get transferred back. Hold on if you need help. That's why it got transferred there. Hold on 1 second. All right? You need help. Let's go. Oh, Mrs. Whitley's back. Mrs. Whitley.
Yes, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Sorry, I lost you earlier. I'm doing good, thank you. I have a question. I missed the question on the I-130 form. I'm wondering what would they do about it? I missed question when they asked you, have you read everything? Before I sign it, they asked you, have you read everything to your knowledge? I forget to mark that.
Worst comes to worst, they'll send you back the form and ask you to fix it.
Oh, they won't deny it?
I don't think so. I mean, they have the right to deny it, but usually what they would do is if you miss one thing, usually they will give you an RFE and give you an opportunity to fix it.
Okay, it was actually 3 questions because my husband is worried. It was another question where it was just 3 questions. It was, if they ask you, is your beneficiary your sister, brother, or related, or adoption? I forgot to mark yes or no, but in the beginning I did put he is my spouse.
Yeah, I don't think that matters. That's obvious. What's the last one?
Okay, that's okay. Okay. And the second one was that was the second one I told you. What about is he supposed to sign it?
No.
It says
the I-130 signed by you.
Okay, but the second one, the I-130A, I sent with the I-130.
Yeah, I-130A he signs.
But he didn't sign it. He can't sign it. He's across seas.
Well, he signs it and sends it back. No, well, you don't need to do it if he's in another country. It's only for adjustment here.
Okay, yeah, he's in Hades, and I'm in Syracuse.
That's fine.
Okay,
Let me tell you what'll happen. If they have questions, they will send you an RFE. Don't worry.
To answer the question?
Yes.
Okay, I also forgot 41. Did you gain lawful permanent resident through marriage to USA citizen, lawful resident? It's blank.
You're not a permanent resident. You were born here, I assume.
Yeah, I'm a citizen, so I didn't even answer.
You were born U.S. citizen, so don't worry about it.
Yes. Okay.
I don't know why I know that, but I already know that just from what you're asking.
Okay, so everything should be okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Brad. Do you have any updates on the USCIS? Because I've been calling for the last week, but I can't get them.
Do I have updates?
Yeah. Do you know if there was a backup or hold up? Because I called, but I can't get them on the phone.
Well, you're not even calling USCIS. You would be calling an outside contractor. So
yeah, but I've spoken with them several times, but I can't get them on the phone.
You can speak to them until you're blue in the face. Not going to make you faster. So
thank you. Have a good night.
Okay, you're welcome. Let's go to Mark in Poughkeepsie. Mark.
Yeah, hello?
How are you?
Yeah, Brad, I have a 2-point question. I need some advice, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm married to a U.S. citizen, and my case was in filing since March of 2018. I came here on a C1D, and when she filed, they denied the I-131 and the I-145, something like that.
Yeah, because you came as a
But now
member.
the I-1, yeah, crew member, yeah.
You can't adjust as
so
a crew
now,
member.
I can't?
No. That's why you were denied.
Oh.
You have to file an I-130 then do the provisional waiver, visa process, and then go home and come back.
Yeah, but my I-130 is still pending, and it's saying I'm in queue for an interview. That's what I don't understand.
Well, they're going to interview you, and then you're going to do a provisional waiver and go home and come back. Because you filed it wrong.
Oh.
That's why.
Also, there's no way of not going home to come back?
You have to do a provisional waiver first. Not as a crewman, you cannot adjust your status unless you're 245I or unless your spouse is military or former military.
Okay, all right. So what if I should go home before the I-130 is approved and wait on it to be...
You'll have a 10-year bar. Sounds like you're doing everything wrong and you need a consultation. Hold on one second. You don't do that either. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
All right. All right. By the way, if you didn't get your immigration questions answered, you can follow me at Real Brad Bernstein on Instagram. Drop me a DM, and I'll be happy to answer your questions as best as I can. Also, follow us at Brad Show Live. If you can't handle 2 hours of Brad, you can handle about 10 seconds of looking at my picture, and go to a Brad Show Live on Instagram. Follow us there as well. Yo-Yo and Vanessa, what do you got?
Yep, you guys can follow me at Jonathan Elias TV on Instagram.
And you guys can find me at Vanessa.Contreras TV.
All right, and today's attorney close-up, Spar and Bernstein's immigration attorney, Jonathan Aftalon, explains how to file for special immigrant juvenile status. Let's watch.
So basically, we go into the family court first. In the family court, the first step is to prove that there's a guardian here that could actually take care of the child. It just has to be someone that's living with the child and that can take care of the child financially, make legal decisions based on the child, help the child go to school, help feed the child, clothe the child. They can still do it. You do not have to be in status to be a guardian. And actually, a guardian could even be one of the biological parents. It doesn't even have to be someone that's separate from the family.
All right, let's do something we like to call social media check-in.
Super delicious dishes on YouTube. Should I get a receipt number from USCIS after I sent my application for a waiver 2.5 months ago?
Yes.
Janae Kane on YouTube. I filed my AOS since September 27, 2019, but still no interview. I was ready for an interview on April 29th, 2020. What should I do now?
Threat of a mandamus.
Ola Ayan Koya on YouTube. I sent in my EAD renewal application without a passport photo on October 26th. I've not received any receipt. Should I resend the application complete with the passport photo?
You can if you want to, but it sounds like you would have a duplicate. Why don't you wait another couple weeks and see what happens?
Jean-Luc Jamu on YouTube. I just received an I-797 notice of action saying USCIS will transfer my petition to NVC and NVC will transfer it to the embassy or consular. However, I'm here in the US. What does that mean?
It means that you're scheduling an appointment to go back home. I don't know if you want to do that or adjust your status, or if you are going to do that, do a provisional waiver. So unless you plan on going home and getting a 10-year bar because you overstayed, I think you need help.
Okay, Blaze and Buy on YouTube. I'm on a K-1 visa, got married and later divorced without a conditional. Can I remarry or will I be deported?
You can remarry. You got your permanent green card.
Lola Unstoppable on YouTube. When questions will an immigrant judge ask? What questions will an immigrant judge ask at an adjustment of status hearing?
All the questions on the I-485 to make sure you qualify.
Okay, Lilith Kachatrian on YouTube. 1 year after my I-485 interview, I got an inquiry response that my case is delayed until they receive the results of security checks. What does this mean? I don't have any criminal record.
It means they're delaying your case for no apparent reason. That's their catch-all phrase for everything.
Natalie Suden on YouTube. What are the specific benefits after you receive prima facie, and how long from then will you get to the work permit?
You don't get a work permit until you file your adjustment application with your VAWA or until your VAWA is approved. So hopefully you filed the adjustment. You're entitled to all federal benefits any federal benefit that you can get, you would be entitled to.
Okay, Marwa Youssef on YouTube. I applied for my asylum from 2016 and didn't hear until now because of the new law that came out in January 2018. I have 3 American kids and don't know what to do to keep moving forward. Can I ask for expediting? If I can, how long will it take until my next hearing?
Well, you can do a mandamus. Mandamus would speed everything up. But I'm driving Julian crazy. But but you want to make sure but you want to make sure you have a good asylum claim before you do it, because if you don't have a good asylum claim, you don't want to speed things up. Okay, Vanessa.
Ken Kibithy on YouTube. I have an approved VAWA and I am waiting on adjustment. My work permit under C9 expires in March as well. How soon should I renew my work permit, and will I have to pay a fee?
You do not have to pay a fee. Do it about 120 days before the expiration.
Okay, Mrs. G on YouTube. My husband is a U.S. citizen. I've been out of the U.S. for 9 months now. We're waiting for our I-130 petition to be approved in USCIS. Can I go visit him? I entered the U.S. legally on a tourist visa, but I overstayed for 4 months.
No, you can't use your tourist visa anymore. It's no good.
Amu Yemen on YouTube. My sister is a U.S. citizen. What papers does she file for my mom to get a green card?
An I-130 visa petition.
Cindy Nero on YouTube. I applied for my adjustment of status through VAWA. How long does it take to be approved?
2 to 2.5 years.
Laureletta Brown on YouTube. My son did his interview at the embassy in Jamaica in October, and they asked for papers, and we emailed all of it. Now I see they refused his status, and today I saw it updated. What does that mean?
It means he was denied. We got to figure out why.
David Wright on YouTube. If you're an LPR in legal status, what's the process to adjust your status?
You have already adjusted your status. You have a green card. You are an LPR. What I don't understand the question. If you're a resident, what's the process to adjust your status? You're already a resident. You don't adjust from resident to resident. You are already. Maybe he's asking something else, but that's not the question he wants to ask.
Arlene Nixon on YouTube. I filed for my citizenship in March. My biometric was canceled because of COVID-19. Will I take the new test or the old test? I was told if you file before.
Old test.
Perfect.
Claudine Logan on YouTube. My 12-year-old son has been in Jamaica since November 30th, 2019. He's also a 10-year green card holder. I'm scared for him losing his card. What should I do?
Who is a 10-year green card holder?
The 12-year-old has been in Jamaica since November 30th, the 12-year-old is a 10-year green card holder.
The 12-year-old is a 10-year green card holder, and what's the problem?
He's been in Jamaica since 2019, and she's scared for him losing his card. What should he do?
Come back to America.
Yeah.
Mitt D on YouTube. I am a U.S. citizen filing for my wife and children, ages 6 and 7. In March 2020, I got confirmation email from NBC informing me that all documents are accepted and they are waiting to schedule an interview at the embassy. Is this normal?
When did this happen?
In March of 2020,
yeah, it's normal.
They got a confirmation
because
email.
It's normal because of COVID, unfortunately. They're slow.
Come on YouTube. My husband filed an AOS March 2020, and my I-130 was received by USCIS April 2020. Would I get my interview by April 2021 if the status shows that it's ready to be scheduled for an interview?
Maybe yes, maybe no. How would I know?
FT on YouTube. What's going on with EADs? My initial one, OPT, in 2019 only took 60 days to get approved. By my renewal, C9 is pending 4 months. Is there a difference in EAD processing times.
It's a problem with immigration. It's a problem with immigration across the board. They're taking 4, 5, 6 months for a work permit when it should be 90 days.
Door Explorers on Facebook. A legal permanent resident who has legal custody of 2 years and physical custody of for over 2 years wants to adopt this child from Jamaica for immigration. What's the next step and how long before this child can be in the USA?
Well, you have to be a citizen to do an adoption, number one. Number two, if you're going to adopt a child from Jamaica, but you haven't lived with them in the same household for 2 years, you're never going to get them here. So you have lots of issues. We need to talk before you do anything.
Sylvester Garvlin on YouTube. How long shall it take for a green card with a marriage base? Mine is since 2018 September. I filed and never got it yet.
It shouldn't take 3 years, so you need to do a mandamus. 2 more.
Okay, we have Tejas Cahoon. On Facebook, I have filed my U visa in 2017 and I got the fingerprint done. Now, how long do I have to wait for a work authorization?
Well, you have to wait for the U visa to get approved, or after 180 days, you can apply for a work permit and show humanitarian reasons why you need it now.
Tanisha Thomas on YouTube. I was on a call earlier that got cut off. Seems like they called earlier. I was saying I am currently awaiting on my I-130 interview in Jamaica. I'm here visiting. Can it be wise to ask for a COVID extension?
You could ask for an extension on your visitor's visa, but it's not going to be for COVID because you can travel back to Jamaica now. COVID's not preventing you from traveling. So you can ask for other reasons, but to say I can't travel because of COVID, that's not the best reason anymore. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Good job, Yo-Yo and Vanessa.
Thank you.
In today's, what am I doing? Angela Gonzalez, known as Gonza, is a social worker and award-winning muralist based in Providence, Rhode Island. Angela's story of surviving physical and emotional abuse throughout her youth to flourishing as a young adult is incredibly inspiring. Angela has been able to heal herself through her art, and now she's giving back to the community in the same way. I spoke with Angela about the journey that has led her to her life's work. Now, for anyone who may be triggered, we want to let you know that Angela's story is wonderfully inspirational, but the abuse which she endured is very difficult to hear. Angela Gonzalez, known as Gonza, is a street muralist and social worker based in Providence, Rhode Island. After suffering neglect and abuse in her formative years, Angela was able to work through her trauma with her art. Now she has combined her two passions of art and helping others to paint her community with positivity and growth. Angela joins me today to discuss her work and the difficult path that ultimately led to her life's mission. Welcome, Angela, and thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, Brian.
So you're an artist and a social worker, and you've combined these two passions. How did you combine social worker and an artist? Tell me what you do.
I used art for my own therapy and then trying to survive and putting food on my plate and financially stabilizing myself after college and after coming from Dominican Republic. So I never wanted to stop my art, although I needed to put food on my plate. So I just was like, well, I need to work with both of them. How can I incorporate everything in between?
How does art and painting, how does that make you cope with your trauma and put a smile on your face? How does that work internally?
I think it's two types of way for me specifically that it works. I think it's, you know, when you're focused on one thing, you kind of just block everything out. You're focused on the brush strokes and you're focused on or the drawing and how to get the detail, and you're not thinking about everything else that's happening around you or the things that you're worried about. So I think it's just kind of blocking the world out and focusing on this canvas or paper.
Almost like, I guess, a meditation with art in a way.
Yeah, even developing the concept of my art, I think it's hard to be a female Latina. I think just telling your story, because everybody's like, well, you know, boo-hoo. And I don't like telling my story because I don't like having people to feel bad. I was just like, well, how can I get this pain out, or how can I talk about it without talking about it? Right. So I think, you know, reenacting emotions into painting. So you know, I'm crying, I'll paint a picture crying, or if I feel a certain way, I just try to reenact it.
Do you start crying yourself as you're painting? Do you become emotional?
I do. I think every single painting I've done has at least one tear in it. I have colleagues and friends who tell me I'm an emotionally Latina person because I'm a little bit more emotional than my others, and I'm very passionate. So a lot of people will try to reflect on what they feel is going on. As to me, I'm just like, I don't really care how people think when I put this emotion, whether they think I'm wrong or right. I just need to get this out. I want to show people that this is a normal thing to go through, and this is a normal emotion, and normalize it.
Let's talk about your family's immigration story. Where were you born?
I was born here in Providence, Rhode Island.
So you're an American citizen, but then I understand at age 9, your parents took you back to the Dominican Republic.
Yes.
Why did they do that, and what was that like? Did you speak Spanish?
Before that, I was in a DCYF and just in and out of childcare because my mom had a drug addiction problem, and she's Puerto Rican. And then my dad's side of the family, he was in and out of incarceration. So I basically lived mostly with my grandmother, who was also an immigrant, and worked at a factory all day. I understood Spanish, but I couldn't speak it because I was taught that you need to speak English to succeed in the United States. So when I was brought to Dominican Republic because my mom had lost my custody because of a drug issue, my dad was deported to Dominican Republic and I was sent there with him. So I had to learn it.
So what was it like being in the Dominican Republic in the custody of your father? Because you went from mom who was a drug addict to now going back to the Dominican Republic with your father who was deported. What kind of father was he?
It was scary. He wasn't there at first when I was first sent there. He was, I think he had a year left incarceration. And I think going to a house where I didn't know anybody. I had my great grandmother there who I met when I was like very young, and I was scared. There was still a lot of violence in Dominican Republic, and trying to grasp that the Dominican Republic is not like the USA. People getting shot right in front of you, and people normalize these things there. And I'm just like, no, this is not normal. And then my dad coming out, he's always been a violent person. So I think I already was expecting that. I just thought he would change, and he didn't. So I just didn't think I was going to come back to the US. I didn't think I was going to live past like 17, honestly.
You didn't think you were going to live past 17 because of something your father would do, or just because the Dominican Republic was a violent place?
Everything. I think I was coming out of school. I went to a nun school just because I was American. So for people, I'm like a golden ticket. You know, coming out of school, I've been robbed at gunpoint. I've been beat in alleys because of my father and his reputation. And then coming back home, and then my dad beating me, and my own father would put a gun on my head. So it was like, I'm scared of the outside, but being in my house was also scary as well. So
what was scarier, being outside or being with your dad?
With my dad. He has so many connections with police force, and
there was nobody coming to save you.
No, nobody, absolutely nobody.
What were some injuries that you remember?
I was sent to the hospital for a lot of things. I had a runny nose. I think my nose had cracked. I had some internal bleeding. I had reoccurring bruises. I still have infertility issues.
What would bring you to the hospital? Your father would beat you and then bring you to the hospital?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the hospital, they would just treat you and they wouldn't ask how this happened?
No, because I was Angel's daughter.
How did you get out of that situation? How did you survive?
My adoptive mother now, she would call me and she would tell my father she just wanted to check in with me. And we would always have like codes. Her name is Pauline Rodriguez. She dated my father when I was younger, and here in Providence. And she just fell in love with me. And after even leaving him, she always would come around and check on me. She's the reason why I even got out of the Dominican Republic.
What did she do?
She almost lost her job. She dropped thousands of dollars just to take me out of the country in a state of emergency. She risked her own life. I had to walk around with bodyguards, and when transitioning out, she watched me go through the physical shock.
What was the incident that caused her to say, I gotta go get Angela?
I had gone to school. I was on finals, and my dad was reoccurring beating me. And in Dominican Republic, it's very hot. But I would wear turtlenecks and long sleeves at all times. I went to a nun school, and the nun school said that I couldn't go to their school because of a bad reputation for them. So I just begged them to just let me finish my finals and that I would be out. And my plan was to run away after I finished my finals. And so my friend friends in that school, they actually skipped their finals and went to the Justice of Women and Children in Dominican Republic, and they reported my father. Bodyguards actually showed up to my school and arrested me in front of everybody because they just didn't want to make it about anything else. So they arrested me and took me. They basically called my adoptive mother and told her, you either going to come and get her or we're going to put her for adoption here in the United States. And she is an American, so everybody's going to want to adopt her, whether it's good intentions or not.
So that's when your adopted mother, who at the time was your stepmother, she came down.
Yep, the next day.
How old were you?
I was 17. It was a year to be legal, so that's why it was mostly important.
Now, you came back to the United States,
Mm-hmm.
and you now have this wonderful career as artist and a social worker. When did you first start to know you had artistic talent in the Dominican Republic, or was it after you came back to the U.S.?
It was always, I've always drawn. I used to draw, I think the painting part was after I came from Dominican Republic because I wasn't allowed to do much because I was a woman. So in DR, you have to like cook and clean. So I didn't have time to paint. I would just do doodles and drawings on my homework and stuff. But when I came here, I think having the opportunity to go to college was like, oh, you can paint, and having that space to be who I wanted to be and without judgment. I think that was like the break for me.
So when you came back to the U.S., things calmed down, obviously.
Absolutely.
And you attended the University of Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm.
Started your artistic career. Did you have to go to therapy?
I actually had PTSD for 4 or 5 years. I was hospitalized in college once and then twice after I graduated college. And I was going to get married with somebody. And because of my depression, I couldn't, my PTSD and my depression, it just interfered. So I had to move back from Boston and come here, and I just evolved.
All throughout this, it was your art that helps you get through your pain.
Yeah, last time I was in the facility, I actually just did a really huge painting and they let me do that, which was hard because it's wooden panels and, you know, it's a self-harming object, which they would call. It was very strict and it was kind of like a jail cell. So it was a painting of a side profile anime of myself, and my hair is like branches and leaves, and I'm growing branches out of my brain, just kind of like demonstrating that I'm growing, like, you know, I'm healing and I'm growing and my mind is developing as it goes.
When you moved back to Providence, you received a lot of recognition for your first mural in that city. Tell me about that mural.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't know what to paint, and my mom, she would just be like, paint whatever your little heart desires. What do you feel is right for the people? If you were a child, what would you like to see? And I never want to speak upon anybody else's story, so I did a self-portrait of like my pain and like the power between being an urban artist and transitioning into the US. So I did that piece, and it was very scary because I just didn't know the Black Power signal. The symbol is very controversial. Like, you know, some people don't like it, and I have to respect that. So I was very fearful, and so was the Avenue. I got so much good feedback that it was amazing.
What is the Avenue concept? You just mentioned that.
Yeah, so the Avenue concept is a nonprofit organization that does public art and tries to improve the city with public art, and so they do a lot with art.
And you're now on the board, so that's amazing. Congratulations. Mm-hmm. What do you want your art to say to people when they see it today?
I want them to just connect with it personally. I want them to be able to look at it and say, that's me, that's my mom, that's my auntie, that's my grandma. And just know that whatever I'm painting or whatever message I'm trying to send across, that it's okay to feel like that, and that you're not alone, and be someone like me. You can get through all that trauma and still become who you want to be.
You recently painted a mural of Miss Rhode Island 2020 in downtown Providence. Mm-hmm. What was this project for? And why did you choose Miss Rhode Island as your subject?
So the Avenue Concept had commissioned me to do a piece after a business owner had gotten their windows broken after the riot. So she specifically requested me because of the mural I had done previously. So they actually called me and said, can you come down today? And I actually showed up, and they trusted me to pick anything I wanted. They didn't even ask me. They knew that I was going to do something that was going to be influential. So everybody painting Breonna Taylor and George Floyd, and the Avenue just looked at me and was like, we trust you. And I was like, I'm going to paint someone who's alive, that if they were to pass, like, we would appreciate them. And that's when I chose Jeanette, who is Miss Rhode Island and a very close friend. And I just feel like I didn't want to, I know this sounds really, but I just didn't want to paint someone dead. I don't want to paint someone like, I don't have to wait for someone to die with all this that's happening. I don't want to wait for someone to die to paint them. Same way with me. I don't want someone to recognize me as an artist after I'm dead. And so I wanted to paint someone who was doing great things. And Miss Rhode Island was she was doing the best she could, you know, being a cheerleader for the New England Patriots and being Miss Rhode Island and trying to volunteer with the students. And the girl's like a superwoman. So I wanted to paint her.
You also painted a mural in front of a high school in Providence. What was that all about?
Yeah, I partnered with Providence Student Union, an after school program, which I think after school programs are amazing for students and to get them out the house, especially if they're from a toxic home environment. And especially with COVID, me and the director, his name is Javier, he and I came together. We're like, we need to give something to these students to give them hope. They are all Black and brown students from classical and Central High. I wanted to do something to give them hope, and that we're standing together no matter what happens.
Do you get a lot of passers-by comment about your work?
I've had people who walk by and be like, here we go again, basically saying it's a rundown of Black Lives Matter, and people telling me they're tired of hearing it. And I had actually someone tell me, don't you get tired of telling the same story of the Black Lives Matter and telling your story? And I literally looked at them with a jar of paintbrush, and I looked at them, I said, no, and I will never, because there's someone out there that needs to hear it and they haven't heard it yet. So I'm gonna keep telling my story. But then I get kids who cry to me and they're like, oh, they love it, and like, I want to be like you. Yeah. Every time they say that, I cry, because I'm just like, I would never, if I could go back to who I was and be like, this is who you're gonna be, I would have been like, I don't believe you. Do
you ever speak to your father or your biological mother or even your grandmother?
I don't really keep in contact with my biological family. Some of them, my brothers and sisters. I think it's my dad. I've definitely sent him a message through Facebook, and I've told him, you know, I can't move on from life if I can't forgive you. I don't care like what you did to me. Like, you know, my mom always tells me I can't hold that in me anymore. I just gotta let it go.
Did he respond?
He tells me that he still loves me and that he apologizes for what he did. But he's a very self-centered person. He always has been. So he just, well, I'm going through this, and this is what I was going through at the time. And I'm just like, it doesn't matter. I was a child. Like,
what a strong mind, strong human being you are to have overcome all of that. Is that why maybe you're a social worker?
Yes. I'm sorry. My mom, my adopted mother, she always told me, if you don't do it for yourself, nobody's going to do it for you. So I think I always told, since a little girl, I told myself, I'm never going to say, oh, poor me. Oh, this person didn't help me. I'm going to say, I did it because I did it myself. So for me, it's just encouraging people that when you're going through something, don't let anybody else be the excuse as to why you didn't achieve something. No matter what you're going through, I think you need to stay positive, figure out a way to get out of it. And then from there, you need to do it yourself.
Children learn their behaviors from their family. You broke that learned behavior, and that is amazing. And on top of it, you became this awesome, amazing, successful artist.
Oh, thank you.
Now, butterflies, they're a consistent theme in your artwork.
I think it's a self-reflection.
Right.
And as I evolved, I started incorporating them because my ancestors are the butterfly sisters. They're called the Hermana Mirabales. They're three sisters who had died by a dictator in the Dominican Republic. And so they're found dead instead of worms, which was very odd. But for me, I think I started putting them more because I'm finally feeling free. I can be whoever I want to be. I can fly to wherever I want to fly.
This is also a show about achieving your American dream, and you have, you feel you've achieved the American dream?
I'm getting there. I'm still a little small town artist, and hopefully I can do bigger, better things and start painting internationally. You know, my darkest moments were out of the US. And so I feel like there's still kids out there that are in that moment. And so I just need to like reach them and figure out how to reach them. So
your story is an amazing story of survival, ultimate success, and ultimately giving back to your community, both in your art and your social work. Congratulations to you, to what you've done. And thank you for coming on our show.
Thank you, Brad.
All right, we have, what do I have an echo? Not anymore. We have 9 last immigration questions. 50 seconds. The last 9 of the day. We like to put a little pressure on me and blow me to smithereens if I don't get it done. Jonathan and Vanessa are safely in their homes. They don't get blown up.
Yes.
Just me.
We've been doing pretty good, though.
Yes. All right, let's keep it going. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. I can't wait for you to come back. As soon as you come back, all of a sudden you're going to be asking the questions a lot faster. I'll be like, oh, surprising that you're getting blown up too. How much faster we're going.
Right. Once we come back, it'll be easier because there's always a little lag between us.
That is true.
Because
that
of
is true.
connection.
That is true.
Let's try.
All right. You ready?
All right.
Let's go.
Yeah. How long after biometrics do you get an interview?
Months or years.
Do I need a lawyer to file re-entry permit?
You should.
Can I travel to Jamaica on advanced parole?
Yes.
Do I need to be married or engaged to qualify for adjustment?
No.
Does the spouse of a TN visa holder need a TD visa?
A TD visa? I don't even know what a TD visa is.
Do I file for an I-360 as a widower of a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
My time ends in January. Can I file for an extension?
What ends in January?
My time.
Yes, you could file an extension on your time, whatever.
Can I add 2 joint sponsors through CEAC?
Yes.
After 5 years on
We did it.
Get it?
Yeah. And what is it? What is, they blew me up anyway. That's so not fair. They blew me up anyway. Come on.
And then they celebrated.
What was the question? You need a TD visa for a TN visa? What was it?
Yeah. Does the spouse of a TN visa holder need a TD visa?
I guess a dependent. Yes. I guess that would be the dependent visa. So I guess yes. The answer would be yes.
Okay.
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 All
there
right.
you have it.
All right. Comments of the day.
All right. Comes from Miloslav Minkov saying, Happy Monday, Brad Squad. There are only 18 days until Christmas, so hope you all get your Christmas wishes to Santa, Uncle Brad. Let's see who was naughty and who was nice.
Wow.
Santa, Uncle Brad.
Yeah, I'm only going to answer the people's questions who are nice. Any of the naughty people, they don't get their questions answered around Christmas time.
Right.
Okay. Next one comes from a loyal one here. Yulene King says, Hi, Brad, Vanessa, Yo-Yo Squad up. Brad does a great job educating people about immigration on social media. Thanks for working assiduously on these cases. You are truly an awesome lawyer. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Assiduously.
Oh, yes. All right, our third comment of the day. I know, that's a fancy word.
Yeah.
Jeff Bozzy Bozzy.
Oh, wow, he's
saying,
back.
Just wear the mask. I mean, it kept my huge Sean's, is it Sean's warm today? Or is it Schnauz?
Schnauz.
So it's doing something.
My huge schnoz.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Schnauz.
Yeah.
It says Sean's.
Oh, well, I think he meant schnoz.
Or maybe this is another thing. Is he wearing his mask on his face or
no,
somewhere else?
This is not hump day. I would assume it's his nose.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
Jeff Bozzy Bozzy.
Yeah.
We're just getting started here. It's only
Right.
Monday. Okay, and wrapping up our comments of the day. Gogi Gravik, and he says, This is a good show. Vanessa is cute. Yo-Yo is handsome, and Brad is the man.
All right. There you
Shout
go.
out to
There
you.
you go. There you go. All right, everybody. Oh, by the way, tomorrow is a pop-up. We're going to be coming in a little earlier. So the only way to know for sure when we're going to show up, make sure you subscribe on Facebook, or subscribe on YouTube, and follow and like us on Facebook. Other than that, you're not going to get notified when we're popping up tomorrow. So tomorrow's just going to be a pop-up show. We'll see you then tomorrow. Thanks for watching. So Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465.